Hello everyone. Just checking I've got all my settings set up, and I think I have. And let me see, we've got people in already. Hello Barb, hello Brenda, hello Sharon, it's lovely to see you here. All right, I think we are live. Just adjust my screen a little bit. There we go. How is everyone this lovely Thursday morning in Australia, Wednesday evening on the other side of the world? Hello Kathy. Now I'm just going to duck over, check a few settings. I'm assuming that everyone can hear me. Hello Sharon. Now, apologise for the noise. Can you hear my coffee machine going? Sounds like you might be able to. That's Duncan making me a coffee. So we won't start talking until after he's done that, just in case that noise is coming through. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends. Now I am just going to check. Yes, it's a long time since we've spoken, Sharon. I'm just going to check something really quickly, so bear with me. Over here. Got a few things going on here this morning. So it's telling me that I am live, which is fantastic. And I think just checking something before I start here so that I'm not stressed about it. I'm going to try and make 2 cards at once today. So I'm going to try and do back to me, where am I? Yeah. Going to try and make the imperial and the metric. Is the live working? Can you see me, Brenda? I can see that you're there. Sounds okay. All right. I think we'll get going. I think we've got a few people on. Brenda, are you... Is that coffee for everyone? Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But, no, probably not Barb. But if you were here, he would make your coffee. He does make me coffee. You have nothing. Maybe just refresh your screen, Brenda. Can you do that? Can you refresh? Because I think everyone else is seeing me okay. Sharon Marden is there for me, and she might be able to help if you can't get me. But yeah, I would try refreshing or closing it down and then reopening it. Oh dear. And there's my tummy. Anyway, I'll have a coffee in a minute, so it won't matter. I'm just going to duck over and do my housekeeping first. Can you hear the coffee machine? Oh, you can see me now. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a lag. Sharon Marden, can you just let me know if you can hear the coffee machine? I'll do my housekeeping while that's running, so that doesn't matter so much if you miss it. Right, what housekeeping have I got? First of all, we have 1 class left still in October 28th, next Tuesday, here at my place. So if you're local and you'd like to come along, please do. It starts at 12:30, but you can rock up from 12, have a chat before we start. So that, and then of course we've got the online class on Saturday the 8th of November. So that's the Lights of Aurora suite. Now I've put the link to that class in the comments below. It's $27 Australian. We'll make 4 cards on the day. You can hear the machine. He's nearly finished, Sharon. 4 cards on the day, and there'll be 2 bonus projects in the Facebook group that's associated with that class. So that link is in the description below. And what else? Of course, the joining offer. Thanks, sweetie. Of course, the joining offer on at the moment until the end of October. If you have not yet taken advantage of that, please contact your demonstrator or if you are one of my customers, there is a link in the video description below to join, but anyone else, contact your demonstrator and talk to them about it. At least find out about it. At least get some information on it, because just too good to be true. So it's pay $60, get 200 in Australian, get $235 worth of product plus free shipping. And then you get to be in the creative club with all the other lovely demonstrators for until the end of March, April. April's the payment. So, and then you can decide what you want to do. Totally up to you. No stress, no pressure. Don't have to sell anything. Just buy for yourself and get a discount bonus. All right. And here's the Lights of Aurora class that I was talking about before. So that link is in the description below. I haven't yet put my little samples up here, but they will be going up there shortly. And that is my homework for the day. And hopefully the coffee machine is all done. Duncan's given me my coffee. So I will just bring it over here. Pop it up there where I won't remember to drink it. Yeah, I will remember to drink it. All right, so let's head over to the desk, because I know that's all what you're waiting for. Oh, and it's live too, and I've got a light on even. Let's get a little bit better light there. How's that? Just jiggle that around. Now this is what we're going to make today. So I have used the Inspiring Imperfections, which is the Kintsugi set. I just call it the Kintsugi set. The joining special barb, that is that what you're talking about? That one finishes on the 31st of October. So you have until end of day on the 31st of October. So give me a ring if you're interested. It's definitely worth it. Definitely. So these are little easel cards, and they pop up and sit on there like that. I'm using the Peaceful Gardens Designer Series paper, which now I managed to get this. I hadn't ordered it, but one of my lovely ladies had double ordered it, so I purchased it off her, and it is gorgeous. Don't know why I hadn't ordered it, but anyway, it is the Peaceful Gardens paper. So it's got this one, you can see I've hacked into it. It's got quite a few gorgeous designs. We will be using this one today because that's my favourite. I'm just getting rid of all the bits from underneath here, but it's got the stars on the back, and the way that I set this up is you can use either or. You'll notice that these are basically exactly the same products for these two, and I've just flipped the papers over. It's just great that it's got two sides, and you can flip them around and get a different look just by flipping the paper around. So that's the back of that one. There's this one, which I haven't used today. This one, which I'm going to use this paper. If you have a look at the supplies list that I put up, I've put photos of the paper that I've used, and I'm going to use this one instead of the plainer one, which is this one. I've only got this one piece left because I've run out of this one, because we used this in a class this week, so I've used all that paper up. So we're going to use this one instead, which is pretty plain still and the same colour, so that works well. Nice design on the other side. We're using this one in the Imperial card today with the doves on it, and it's got this bluey pattern on the other side. More doves. This is the crumb cake paper that we're using, and we've seen that one. So I think that's all of them. The only one that you haven't seen is the one that I've run out of, which is this one, and I can show you the back is this, which is what I've used on this card here. So it is a lovely paper. It uses Secret Sea and Cloud Cover, Crumb Cake. I can't remember what the other colours are. Don't know what that one is. A lighter version of Secret Sea. Maybe it's Night of Navy. Not sure. Anyway, beautiful colours. Now I started out using this one with the Inspiring Impressions, and I made this one, and that uses all the Inspiring Impressions. I just call it the Kintsugi set. I can't remember the other name. It's not Inspiring, it's Inspiring Imperfections, which is probably pretty apt for me, but thanks ladies. And I just used the dies out of that and the stamp set to stamp these little flowers. So I didn't mention the stamp set in the supplies because I put them in for this card here. So I changed it up a little bit, and I've been using the branching out bundle since it arrived on my doorstep. So it's this stamp set and these dies. So I'm just using these for everything at the moment. So because I was using them for the easel part, I decided to make a card using the little pine cones and pine branches as well. So we will try and do both of them today. So I better get started, hey? All right, so I've got my supplies here for the metric. It's going to trick me up. I know I've got them all written down here. And this one is for the Imperial. And we'll just see how we go, because I haven't used these patterns before, so we'll see. We might use the other side. Not sure. We'll see how we go. All right. So the first thing we will do is get our easel part done and set up so that we can, golden retriever hair, so that we can then just do all the little fussy bits at the end. So it's a really simple, easy fold to do, but it makes a lovely little display card where you've got a card that you really want to display. So let's go. We're using Secret C cardstock in the background. I'm just watching over there in case Sharon's telling me something's gone a bit askew. Now I've got all my little die cut pieces done already for both of them, and I'll just put those aside. And I've got some of the die cutting done for the Imperial, but I haven't done the die cutting yet for the metric, so we'll do that as we go. So we start out with, I have to put my piles separate because otherwise it's going to get very confusing. But our base card is your standard card, but long ways. So this is half an A4 sheet, this one, and this is half a letter size sliced in half, basically. So I've got the measurements in the PDF, but basically you're going to fold it in half. I'll get my bone folder out. So I've already folded and scored and folded these. Fold it in half, and then fold this top one in half again, back on itself. So just line it up. I always score my card first. Just find that it folds a lot easier and doesn't crack as much. And that's your basic, simple easel card, and it'll sit up like that. You need a stopper here to make it stop falling forward, although these ones are doing a great job of their own, but once we get them filled up with things, they'll fall forward. So you need a stopper at the base. And then you need something to sit on this panel here. So I've used the branching out dies for that. And I've already die cut the Imperial measurements. Now I will notice I may go in and change those measurements a fraction because I made them very, very tight. They do die cut out because I just use them, but they're very tight. There's no spare paper around the edge. They ended up cutting out like, let me show you, scraps. Very, very close to the edge. So I may change them and just add a quarter of an inch or something on, an eighth of an inch maybe, just to make them a little bit easier to die cut. But anyway, they're the three panels that are going to go on the front. So they are the large branching out die, which we'll die cut from Secret C. So I've got one here. So I'll die cut that one. And then the next size down is the paper on the front of the card. Now here is where you can choose what you want to use. So that's not the right one. Don't tell me I've lost it. Already, I've lost something already. Oh, that's the one we were looking at. This one? Yes, that's right, I threw it over here. So it's this very plain design. So we could put that one on the front, or we could flip it over and put this one on the front. Now that's what I'm going to use today, this side. I'll just show you those cards again. So that's this side, and that's using the plainer side. For my Imperial card, which you can see I've already cut, I could use either the plainer side, which now has like cross patch design on it. And we won't use that side because that isn't, oh, it could, but the patterns are too fussy there, too much white. But that looks quite good, so we'll use that side like that. And then we've got the smallest one, which is not the smallest die, it's the second from smallest. So we've used the two largest ones, and then the second from smallest, so not the smallest, second from smallest is for this crumb cake pattern. Oh, and it only just fits on there. My measurements are very tight. All right, I might just increase those a little bit. So we'll go ahead and die cut those. So I'll go ahead and do that now. And I'll just bring these back in again so you can see what I did here. So it's just basically a matter of mixing the patterns up. I wonder if I'll get that out of there. Oh, it'll be tight, but it'll work. If you could change the patterns around or use different patterns out of the paper, or use any designer series paper. But anyway, you want some coordinating patterns. You don't want them to be ones like that other one we just showed you that don't really coordinate. So choose pleasing designs. It's what I love. It's my favourite thing. I love mixing up ink colours, and I very rarely do I make a card and I only make it in the one colour. Oh look, I got that out just, but I had to tape it down. This is my scrap. I certainly didn't waste any cardstock with that one. That's my scrap. All right, let's do the next one down. So these branching out dies, have you got those, Sharon? Not Sharon. Not Sharon Martin, I'm just looking back here. Sharon's still with us, Sharon Dalton. Have you got these ones? I'm sure you have. They're amazing. I love a good nesting die. But they're very elegant looking with that little cut-out corner. They remind me of, they should have engraving on them or something. They're very elegant. That's my next one. And then we need the largest one out of the Secret Sea cardstock. Sharon might not still be here. I know people come in, have a look, and then think I'll go back and watch that later. Or get all away. Right. So there are 3 die cut pieces. Just get rid of my dies. And I really, those measurements were a bit better, but this one was very tight. Maybe I mixed up the imperial and the metric, could have. Anyway, not a lot of wastage. These are going to go on here like this. Now, you could die cut the smallest one out of this pattern paper underneath there because it's going to be hidden anyway, and then you'd have a small one in the pattern. Same with this large piece of Secret Sea. You could cut a smaller one out of there because you're going to cover it anyway. I'm not going to do that today because we don't really have time, but I've now got my outside pieces ready to go. So now we need to do these 2 background pieces that go on the foldy up bit. Foldy up bit. I am so technical with my terms. Now with this one, with the metric, I've cut that pattern and you can see it matches beautifully. But because I'm going to use this one here, so this is the one I used on the other one, that goes really nicely together, creates a lovely look. But I'm going to do the darker tonings, so I'm going to do this one, and once we flip that over you can see it doesn't really go with that pattern very well at all, just too much going on. But if we flip this over, there's this very plainer star pattern, so that's what I'm going to use there. So that's what we're going to use on that one. So I'll pop that over there for a minute and I'll do some gluing. This one, these are the bits that I cut. Now, I don't know what, this might be of, I don't even know what colours are in that paper. What colours are in that paper? Misty Moonlight. Okay, so this is Misty Moonlight, obviously, and it's just, well, most of the papers really do coordinate well. That one's not coordinating very well. And we didn't like the pattern on the other side of this, so what we can do is flip these over. And we'll put the doves on here. Now you won't really see a lot of the doves, but the design is quite nice. Oh, I don't know if I like that either. It's on the other side of this. Oh, that's got doves on it. Maybe we could do this. Let's flip it all around, shall we? Maybe we'll use this one. And this one. And this one. Well, that might be nicer because these two colours coordinate. Actually, that doesn't look too bad now that I've got that blue in the background. And remember, we're going to have vases and things on it. And what I might do is we're going to fix that. I think. Yes, we will. We'll fix it a little bit. We'll fix it. Let's do this one. I could just cut more paper, but I'm not going to. I'm not. I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee. Yes, the branching out set with the beautiful dies. You haven't used them. You need to pull them out. They are amazing, Sharon. You're travelling at the moment, aren't you? Have you been away somewhere? Or are going away somewhere? All right, let's get all these glued on. I've got to work really quickly, seeing as I'm making two. So bear with me if I feel like I'm chook with the head cut off. These don't have to match, so it doesn't matter what way they go on. So they go on those two front panels. And they have a nice fine border. It seems such a shame to put glue on this gorgeous floral paper. But there's 2 sheets in every pack. That one. Let's do this one. Oh, we tried that, didn't we? We didn't like it. Well, I tried it and didn't like it. Too late, it's got glue on it now. Normally I'd be a little neater in my gluing, but I'm on a mission. Now these ones also don't matter which way they go up. Which goes on the top, which goes on the bottom, because they're a pretty nondescript pattern. Right, just get these out of the road. Now we need to glue all our bits together. We can do this one because I'm happy with this one. So with this one, you're home again now and you're not going too far away for the next couple of months. Great. It's always a little disruptive. It's great to go away, but it's always a little disruptive in your crafting schedule. And then this one, everything's just flat. No dimensionals on these bits. And then get that relatively in the center. That's always a bit of a challenge for me. But anyway, that will be good enough. So that's going to go on there like that. Now this one, what are we going to do with this one? I haven't got my crumb cake ink out, or I'd probably just cover that with crumb cake ink. But I'm just having a little, what's on the other side of this? I've got some paper over here. I'll just go see what we've got. Really needs the contrast. Okay, let's try something. I've got my crumb cake Stampin' Blend here. I'm going to tone down choosing the brush end, I'm going to tone those white bits down so that they don't stand out so much. Now if I had my crumb cake ink out here, I'm working in my living room for those who are wondering why doesn't she just get a crumb cake ink. I'm in my living room while my craft room's being renovated and all my crafting stuff is in the other room. So it doesn't really work for me, so whatever I have out here is what I have to craft with. So I'm just hoping that that might make enough of a point of difference, so that's a bit better. Then I don't have so much white showing, which conflicts with this white here. So that's a bit better, I think. How does that look? Anyway, that's what we're running with. Don't fiddle faddle, Cheryl. So I guess we're all pretty much the same. You get things out and you go, what might look nice with this colour. You think the doves worked well? On the other side that I've now covered over. I just was a bit worried that the doves had too much, the white of the doves wasn't even enough for me. Over. Fraction. I love liquid glue, you can sort of shove it around the place. Yeah, I was a bit worried with the doves that the white didn't balance. There was too much white on one side, not enough on the other. Anyway, this is what we're going to go with. We're going to have other bits on top, so... Yeah, these doves, you mean? Yes, well, they're on there now. Alright, now this is going to go on the front like this. Now we will just put our insides in before we do anything else. So we'll open these up. And for this, I've chosen the plainer designs to go on the inside. That one and that one. Now I did do some stamping on here. So I'm using branching out on this one. Branching out set. So I'm just going to grab this single little fine leaf. A couple of blocks. It's a very big block for a very little stamp. That's all right. This one, I don't know if it needs any stamping. I did put the kintsugi flower around here because it didn't have a pattern on it. It was pretty plain. But because this has already got a pattern on it, I'm not going to stamp anything on that one. I've got cloud cover ink. Now in Australia, cloud cover ink is still on the last chance list. You buy it knowing that you might not get quite the right colour, but my advice would be to buy the ink refill with it and then just pat some of the ink out with a paper towel and then apply the ink refill. That's what I've done. Or you can buy the Stampin' spots, the little square Stampin' spots and an ink refill and use those instead of the big ink pad. But I like my larger ink pads, so we'll just quickly go around and pop some images onto here. Just turn my stamp in and out around. We don't need to do anywhere but the edges because nothing else is going to show. Just around the edges like that. Ink all over that. I'll just pop that aside. I don't even know if I've got a chamois out here. It's like crafting in two different places. I do have a chamois. I'll just clean that off. Okay, and then this can go on the inside of our card just like that. But I do love this paper. This been around for a while because they used it for, was it Creativity Now? But I didn't get it for that. I used something else, the Pears set, I think. This one on. So it has been around for a while, so you no doubt have seen it being used. Okay, now what else do we need to do? There's a couple of other bits we can put in quickly. The inside bits to write on are just going to go at the top here. So I've cut those out of Secret C and just basic white. I'm not going to do, you could decorate them if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to quickly pop those in. That's got a nice little fine Secret C border. Just wriggle that around. This one onto there. That up, and then we'll glue those onto the inside, and they can just go sort of towards the top. Just make sure that the border is similar, so you're seeing some of that designer series paper. Oops. Shouldn't really work over the top of your card. Do what Cheryl says, not what Cheryl does. There we go. That's my two inside bits, so that's going to cover that because that will sit like this, and this one will sit like that. All right, now next up we'll add our front bits, and they'll go in the center. So the way that I did this was I grabbed a pencil, and I do have one here, amazing, and I just put it in the center. Flip it over, Cheryl, put it in the center and make a little mark here and here, and I know that I can't put glue above that. And this one, now this is the metric card, so you'll notice there's quite a bit more space, top and bottom. It's a taller card. Now I normally have a silicone mat here, but what I'm going to do is use, what have I got? I could use this piece of card. This is actually the card that I've cut my bits out of. It's got adhesive sheet on the back to cut the bits that I'm going to use, but I'm going to use it as a little mask today. So we'll grab this, we'll put our glue down below the level of the pencil mark, and depending on how heavy-handed you are, what you don't want to happen is for it to smoosh out above that line. So I'm just going to put, so remember this is how it opens. So I'm going to put this at the top, just against the fold here, and then I'm going to, I'll just measure where that goes in the middle, put that down there, and then place that. That just means that if your glue smooshes out, it's going to go on this scrap paper. It's supposed to be scrap paper instead of onto your card. And it has a little bit, obviously. Oh, look what I did. I glued the wrong side on. Now, lucky I had... Did you see me doing that, you girls? No one said anything. I can't see anyone in the background going, "You've got it up the wrong way, Cheryl." So luckily I had this piece of card in there because I put it on upside down and I would have glued it to the wrong edge. So we'll do that again. I'm just going to add a bit more glue here now. But, oh, it's stuck. So there you go. Luckily I decided to still add that in. That would have been a disaster. We would have had to just run with them. Now I'm looking for another piece of scrap paper. We would have just had to run with the, can't use that one again. Oh, I know, I've got my instructions. I've got the instructions that I pointed out, that'll do. I would have just had to run with the Imperial if I'd glued it all on the wrong place. Alright, we'll place this here, and again, we'll try that again. Just check that I've got it in the middle. Okay, fraction. This under here, so don't make that mistake again. You gasped. Yes. Yes. It's now I've made, you can see how many of these I've made, and we did this in class the other day, and I still managed to get it wrong. Alright, so now I've got glue everywhere, but you can see that now it hasn't come up the back, and that's fairly in the middle. I've got glue on here. I'll have to get my little, which I don't have here, my little glue eraser. Take that off. Now we'll get rid of this, got glue all over it. And let's try again with this one. So just check again where I'm up to. Goes up this way, yes. Okay, so there are my little pencil marks. This time I've got it up the right way. And this one doesn't have as much border around the outside. So that's about where it's going to go. Definitely got the glue in there the right way up this time. This is very awkward using this huge sheet of paper. I have been using my silicone mat and just putting my silicone mat in under there. There's another golden retriever hair. All my cards come with bonus golden retriever hair. Goes everywhere. Oh, what do you get in Canada? You get the Imperial. Is that normal, or do you use both up there? Just gonna. Now I will. You can see this one is a little bit out. It's a little bit. Should be a smidgen further down, but it really doesn't matter because when you get it up here like this, it still sits nicely. All right, so they're my two easel parts done. So now we can go ahead and work on all the decorative bits. So I have two little packs here. This one is the using the branching out die cuts. So we've got two, got a vase, a tall vase, what I call a tall vase and a short vase, but I think that's a bowl actually. So they're going to go on there like that. That's all the stuff that goes with that. And this one is, I've used the actual Inspiring Imperfections dies. So we've got these don't have sticky on the back, they're just cut out of white cardstock. Use them in so we can see everything. And then I've got all the foliage bits. I've got lots, way too many. I only need 3. And the branch. But we do need to colour up our vases because I haven't stamped them. Wish I had my little. I wonder if a regular eraser would work. Oh, it is. It wouldn't work for a large amount of glue, but just to take off those little bits did. So I will grab my. We'll colour these up, make them look pretty. So I'm going to use a blending brush. Now I have to go away because I didn't bring any blending brushes with me. So now I just have to de-microphone myself so I don't pull everything off. So you use the metric system, but you get Imperial stuff. That would be annoying. I'll be back. I'll be right back. Sharon, hold the fort. And I'm back. Okay. All right, so I've got some blending brushes and a sponge dauber, and we will do some stamping first. So I've got that little branchy bit out, but out of the Inspiring Imperfections, I will take the little flower. Put that on a block. Again, huge block, little stamp. So I'm using the cloud cover ink, and we'll do this one first. So this is just a matter of adding some little flowers around the outside of the vase. So like that. And the same with the little bowl. And it really doesn't matter where you stamp them. Oops, don't need that one. I'll just pop that out of the road for a minute. And this little flower also in cloud cover. It's the pine or fir tree spriggy bits, leafage, foliage. It's just meant to look a little bit like a pattern on the vase, just to make it a little interesting. So now I'm going to take my cloud cover blending brush and here's a block, some ink to that. Pick it up and I'm just going to do the edges. So I'm going to take off the excess and just roll it in down the edges. This will give it a bit of a soft look. We'll add some intensity with the sponge dauber when we're finished. But to bring it in towards the middle, the blending brush works really well, gives a nice light shade. And you want to leave the centre bit white, which is a bit tricky to do when you've got a really light ink because you're never quite sure how far in it's gone. Let's do the tall vase. You can see it's quite light, you really can't, it's hard to see, especially on the video, but there is colour going on there. And the trick is to not get too heavy, and then you'll end up covering up your centre bit and you won't get your white highlight down the middle. Now you can see I forgot to take off the excess there, and I've got a little bit of a smudgy bit. Right, and we'll do the other ones in exactly the same way. Well, I'm reading that comment, Brenda, and that is a little odd. If you work in metric, but you get all your... So when you do a, you know, if you were to do, you're getting really smudgy here, a class or something, or when you make something, do you have A4 cardstock, like generally? That's odd. I'm going way too quickly here. I've got a few smudgy bits, but they'll hopefully work out in the wash. Right, now I'm going to take my sponge dauber and just do the very edges. I'm really mucking this up. Way too quickly. We'll do the top. Let's see if I can fix it. As long as I don't do that centre bit, we should be good. See if I can blend that out a little bit. Sometimes I'm thankful that the YouTube video is not hugely detailed. So that's just adding that little bit of shading down the edges. So this one's quite heavily shaded, so I might add a little bit more just to make them matchy-matchy. There we go. So that's those two. So now I've just tried to keep that centre bit white or lighter. So it looks like it's got a bit of a shine hitting the front of it. That one. Got enough ink in here. Let's see. So take your time a little bit with this. I'm going very, very quickly for my crafting. Normally I'm never this fast. I am normally very slow and methodical. Like to luxuriate in the whole crafting process. Just smooth those out a bit where I smudged them. There we go. I think I've got away with it. Right, so there are vases. Now, so that they will dry while we're working on other things, I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to those the flowery bits. Let's see how much. Can't remember whether this is one that I put some alcohol in. Yes, it is. So it's quite. So when they get low, I think I showed this one other live I was doing. You take the barrel off and add just a couple of drops. Doesn't take very much of rubbing alcohol, or I use the 99.9% alcohol. I don't know that, vodka or gin would work, but if you've got any of the 99% rubbing alcohol, it just picks up that last little bit of shimmer and gives it a little bit extra juice right at the end. Just be careful when you do that though, because it is very runny. If you do that without the lid on, it will splatter everywhere. So just add a little bit of shimmer. And then the same in these flowery bits. Now also, because this is a non-waterproof ink, adding the liquid with the Wink of Stella. Although now that I've put alcohol in it, it probably isn't going to blend the ink, but it might do. Just fills it in a bit. That one. And this one. No worries, Barb. And then we'll yeah, adding that little bit of alcohol. I wasn't doing it, I was just throwing it away, but then I saw someone, I think it might have been Kayla McCoy, was saying she put just a drop or two. The first one I did, I totally mucked up because I put more than just a drop or two in, and it ended up like so runny. Every time you took the lid off, I had Wink of Stella everywhere. So now I'm a little bit more circumspect and just put a couple of drops in. All right, so they can sit there and dry for a minute, and I'm going to add some colour to now my little pine cones here, which I'm hoping that I've got 4 of them, but it looks like I've lost one somewhere. I've only got 3. I have to cut another one. Oh, there it is. 4. Okay. So we've got these little pine coney branches. Now I'm going to colour these ones with Stampin' Blends. So I've got the crumb cake one that I used before. Hello Colleen, how are you? The crumb cake one that I used before. So we'll just see how dark this one is. So you can see that, actually works better over where I've already sponged. You can see what I'm doing. It works. I'm just going to shut that. Oh, I can't shut the door because I'm attached. I hope. Can you hear the washing machine? It's like, I can't wait to get my craft room back. It's so hard when you've got to do your lives out in public, and it wouldn't matter so much except Duncan's off work at the moment, so there's lots of extra noises going on that normally wouldn't be around. And I've got the dogs in the background. I don't know if you can hear them. It's like full on here. So then we'll just quickly add a bit of texture, a bit of shading with because we can, for no other reason but because we can. Just blend that in. You don't really need to. That looks better with a bit of texture in there. And then we'll make the stems brown. And I think we'll just go ahead and use the dark plum cake. Colour those in. Now these have got the adhesive sheet on the back already. You don't have to use the adhesive sheet, it just makes it so much easier to stick them on. And then I'm quickly just going to go over these because they will need to dry as well with a bit of Wink of Store. We all have to do life. Yes. So, and I'm attached with a, try and have everything ready because I'm attached with a lapel mic. I haven't got one of the big ones that just sit on the desk. I'm actually attached. And if I forget to take it off and run away, I drag everything off the desk. I've done that so many times. So I had done the washing earlier and it had finished. I wasn't going to put another load on, but my darling husband, shouldn't complain, he's put another load on. Right, so that's my little pine cones done, and they're all you can't, will it focus? Yep, they're all shimmery and pretty. So they go with that, and then we'll just put a little bit of colour in these foliage, and I'll do that with my little dauber that I was using before. Or we could I might use a blending brush. Dauber might be a bit too heavy. Blending brush. So we'll just add. Just don't want them to be stark white. So I'm just adding a little bit of colour just to the edges. So I didn't mention in my housework, it's free shipping. Didn't mention that. It's free shipping today and tomorrow. We've got left to go. So if you're not going to take up the joining offer, or if you've already taken up the joining offer and you want to put your next order in, today and tomorrow would be the days to do that because it is free shipping and it makes such a difference. I got some notices yesterday about people getting their starter kit order arrive in the big brown box. And I still remember when I first joined Stampin' Up how exciting that first big brown box was. I was away when my first one came in because I joined up while I was away visiting someone, and it was Grace down in Canberra, and so mine was waiting for me when I got home. It was hard to know that it was sitting at home and I wasn't there. Alright, so I've just added bits and pieces of colour to those leaves. So the only other thing we now need to do is the sentiments, but we can do those last. We can go ahead and put all the other bits together because I'm going to go over time by the looks of it. I don't think I'll get everything done in 4 minutes. So let's do this one first. So these little vases can go up with dimensionals, but these with sticky on the back will go on here like this. So this is going to sit out of the vase, and because it's 2 sticks they would obviously lean over a little bit, so we'll put them in like that so we know where they want to go roughly. So can I remember that once I pick it up and put it down again? Who else has that trouble? You missed the memo and placed a substantial order. Oh no. Yes, that is annoying. Sometimes it can't be helped because, you know, we don't get that much advance notice about free shipping, really. They sort of spring it on us a little bit too, but it's always like, oh, just put an order in. But especially if it's a big order and the shipping is, because once you get over the $6.95, it becomes 6%. So if it's a big order, it can be quite substantial. All right, now this one's going to go up with dimensionals. And do I have any? Yes, I do. Look, brand new sheet. Oh. All right. How many dimensionals? It's like those guess how many jelly beans in the jar games. As to how many dimensionals Cheryl's going to put on her things today. A few. To do like dimensional bingo. We all have a sheet, and then you cross off the number that how many dimensionals I'm putting on the back. That'd be a bit of fun, wouldn't it? All right, so now let's pop our little vase down. Oops, don't drop it. Just standing up. And we're going to put this one something like that. It's not too far over. Does that look straight? Then this one's going to go down here, and so we won't need a dimensional on this corner, but we will need them. So I'll just make sure I know which corner to not put dimensionals in. And this bingo number's a low one, it's just going to be 3. Shouldn't have got me started on that. Now I want to play dimensional bingo on my lives. Alright, this one needs to sit just maybe a little bit lower and just over here, like that. Then we've got some pine cones. Now with the pine cones you could just whack them on there, but Cheryl is going to add a little bit of texture. It's got texture from the, we might use the light one. It's got texture from the little cuts that get in it when you die cut it. But I'm just going to add some more texture to them with my Stampin' Blend. I know, you can all roll your eyes at me. I've got the supplies, so I like to use them. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. All right. So now we've got, I should have a take your pick tool somewhere, but we'll just rip these off. These can sort of look like they're sticking out of this bowl. Add one there, and another little one in there. I didn't put a band-aid on my yucky finger either. Just going to lay this down in here. And we're going to put one down in the middle, down on the floor, on the table. So my nails are sort of a nail update. We have a nail update. As you can see, my nails are very slowly growing down on the floor there. I'll balance it out a little bit. Sentiment's going to go in there. But they're very slow because they're so weak. So I've been chewing my nails now for all my life basically. So, but I'm actually, I'm getting somewhere, and I'm trying to look after them. So I'm hoping that they will improve. Now this piece we're going to put a sentiment on. So we'll keep that somewhere where I won't lose it. These two pieces here, I'm going to grab some scissors and I'm going to cut them off like that. And then our sentiment's going to go across here, so these can go on can stick out. Now I might just leave those until I do my sentiment, so because I don't know what size I'm actually going to do there. So that's that one, ready to go. Just need those things. Let's do the other one, which I have lost. It's over here. So again, we need to bring our little vase in. That will go there with dimensionals. This is the flower stick. The flower stick. It's the flower stick. This is going to go on top of there like that. So the flower stick Needs to go there somewhere. The sticky thing. Thank you, Brenda. Yes, postage is, it's, yeah, even a letter. And most of my letters don't fall into the regular category. So just sending a card or a letter is normally, here in Australia, about, I think it's $3.50 if you send, oops, I might have to cut that bit off. Oh, might be right. I'll just twist it. I think I sent some cards the other day. They were $3.50 each or something. $3.40 just to send a card. But anyway, that's my fault because I put too many things on the front of my card. I need to try and make flat cards. Right, now, which way will this fit? So it needs to touch all of the edges. Pull the sticky off the back, pop that down, and now this little edge is sticking out. I might cut that off. There we go. This can go on with dimensionals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is why my cards cost so much to send. So if you want to send this and not cost so much, then don't put it on dimensionals. Just put it flat. So let's put this on here. Like that. Is that sort of flat? I probably should have coloured these up, now that I've changed all my background, with Misty Moonlight. Would have looked much nicer. Because there's no cloud cover in this now. But anyway, you get that. Put this on here. And then we've got 3 of these. 2 are for the sentiment piece, and then 1's sort of going to sit over this vase. So if I can get the backing off. And I'm going to sit it sort of like this. Just sort of something like that, so it just looks like it's coming up out of the edge of the vase there. And that is it. We put our sentiment in here, which will balance that out. So we just need a couple of sentiments. These 2 bits are going to go on here. So I'll quickly stamp those. Now I have pulled out the Unbounded Love dies again. They are on the last chance list. That's these ones. They're still on the last chance list. But they are so handy to have. They fit so many of the, now I've got my, I need to move my mouse and my keyboard, which is still down here, and I'm going to turn me off if I'm not careful. Right. So what will we put on these? I do like sending lots of love, sent with lots of love. I also like friend. I like, and the other one I like is from my family to yours. And there's another one here which says, thinking of you brings joy to my heart. All nice little sentiments. Let's see if I can find enough blocks for them to go on. Yes, reach them, I think. That one on there. Very small stamp on a very large block. I think I put that on the wrong one. Right, so we need some white, plain white card, which I have here somewhere. All my scraps of plain white card. Alright, here we go. So let's stamp these with Secret Sea ink. Friend. Nice. More golden retriever here. Oh, that was a bit inked up too much. Loving Secret Sea. It is dark, but not too dark. I might do this one this way. King of you. Okay, there are all my sentiments. Sorry, I'm rushing this as we go over a little bit. Bruno uses a lot of dimensionals too. He does, Kathy. Yes, but he's an architect, so you know, he likes things that don't fall down. You like these vases better than the original? Oh, cool. All right. Yes, but I'm looking at this and I really should have used Misty Moonlight. Now, you know what I'm going to be doing once I'm finished? I'm going to go and get my Misty Moonlight ink blending brush. I'm going to shove a piece of card under there and I'm going to try and add some Misty Moonlight to it. That's me. All right, let's cut these out. So we've got this one. That fits there nicely. This little one here actually fits this one really nicely. This one I did with, I can't remember, the big one too, that one too, and then that one I cut out by hand. So let's go ahead and die cut those very quickly. So give me 2 seconds while I don't know if this one's going to fit on there. I might have to do it again. Oh, it's not going to fit. Cut this one out by hand. Friend. Just like that. Where's this one? From our family to yours, I need to do again on here. Didn't drink all my coffee. I'll have to put it in the microwave. Not the best way to drink coffee, but I'm not wasting it. Not when someone else made it for me. Right, so now that will fit over there like that. Okay. So I'll just run these through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This one actually cuts a frame out as well, but we'll just use the, off the screen a bit, we'll just use the so I've learned to always use my tape. I used to just put them in the machine and hope that they stayed in place, but they never seemed to, and I was getting so many wasted sentiments that weren't central. I always just add a little bit of repositionable tape, removable tape or post-it note or washi tape or whatever is around the place. This one. Now this only just fits in here, just need to get it centre, like that. Did I run that through? Yes. This one, and I am going to just ink the edges with some cloud cover ink, and just got my microphone cord because it's not in my pocket anymore. So I've got this hugely ridiculously long cord. When I first started my lives, they were a long way from the computer, and so this hugely ridiculously long cord for my microphone, so I roll it all up and put it in my pocket when I do my lives. But because I moved and went into the other room, hello Jackie, when I went into the other room I took it off, and now it's sitting here in a big pile on the desk, getting caught up in everything. But yeah, it gets tucked into my jeans pocket. Right. So now let us grab my cloud cover ink again. And we'll just quickly add a little bit of dimension to the edges of these. That's Secret Sea. Maybe I used Secret Sea before. Don't we use Secret Sea? Around the very edge. Now, a lot of these steps, you know, you don't have to do. I tend to always go a little bit, what do you call it? I'm a little bit too far sometimes. I never know when to stop doing things to my cards. And that's why it takes me so long, because I'm sure they could be a lot simpler and look just as good, but that's not my personality. So I've just learned to accept that. And do what makes me happy. But definitely these could be much, much less time consuming and simpler to put together. Oops. But a little bit of inking around the edge will mean that they sort of tie in with the rest of the card, because there's not a lot of bright white on them. Even my little friend gets a bit of blending. All right, that is enough, I think. We'll pop those on. Now let's do our steppy bits. So this one can go on here, like that. And I'm going to put these little pine cone bits that I cut coming off each corner diagonally. So let's pop that one up there, like that. We'll do the same on the other end for this one. And then this will sit across here, and I'm going to put this on flat, so just with a bit of glue. And the actual crumb cake panel will sit up on dimensionals, and that will make a nice little ledge for the easel part to sit in. Aw, thank you, Sharon. Hello, Nicole. How are you? I'll just pop that one down on there like that. Now, I didn't actually do this on this one, but what you could also do is add more of these little flowery bits and just stamp them off around the edges. That fills in that gap, but I didn't do it on this one. I'll put some dimensionals on here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It's a very circumspect number on there. So that can just then come over here. Don't put it into anything. And that can sit in this, oh dear, in this centre gap. So centre it in this gap that's left. And then that becomes our step for our easel card. And then what does that say? From our family to yours. So we'll put sent with lots of love, and I'm going to put that down flat as well, because I've got these elements up on dimensionals. I like to give the card some, now my glue's not going to come out, yes, way too much. Give it a little bit of different depths. So this, if I put it all up on dimensionals, it's sort of, I don't know, it could go up on a dimensional. I'm going to put it flat. Let's do it like that. And then that is that finished little easel card, a little space to write inside, and a really nice way to display your card. Oh, I forgot this little guy. Let's add him on, shall we? There we go. Little pine cone there. So we will now finish this one off. This is our Japanesey type one. Now I've got the same little brown die cut. This is the smallest die out of the branching out dies, the nesting ones, and I'm going to put these up here. So it's the same sort of process, just using a different set. that. Now I will show you what I did with the other one. So I've got, I'll do it on this one. Whoops. Although there's not that great big empty gap here, I'm still going to add, that's what I should have done on the other one, just a little bit of extra dimension. It's faint, but it's there, and it just fills in any extra space that you've got floating around on your sentiment piece. Again, the sentiment will go on flat. Like that, preferably centered. Like that, and then this will go on with dimensionals, which are here. So same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I will go ahead and add Misty Moonlight on here when I'm finished. And the photos that I post, let's see if we can, I'll do a before photo and an after photo, and we'll see how much different it makes. I suppose it doesn't really matter because this cloud cover here, that one on there. Now you could add blingy bits on here if you wanted to. I am not sure that it had the Wink of Stella on, but you certainly could add some, especially on this one because there's a bit of extra space. Now, to have a little pair of tweezers might help with this one. Put it up the right way. And again, I'm just going to pop it in flat, and we'll pop it just there. There we go. Right, so let me clear a space so we can have a look at these. Get rid of this yucky bit of paper. And they're the two cut. Oops, I wriggled it, didn't I? There we go. Fixed it. So that's that one. And this is this one. So they sit up, display like that. Nice and sturdy, quite cute. I think they have just enough bling in them with the Wink of Stella. Alright, let me come back over here. I'll bring in the other ones that I did. So this was, you can see this one works better with the cloud cover. And you know, actually, see this one's darker? I think I actually added some Secret Sea around the edge of that one. It's a different colour. So it would probably look quite different with a bit of Misty Moonlight or Secret Sea. You could put around that one. And then this was the other one that I did, which is very similar to this one. And yeah, the colour is different. I must have added Secret Sea around there. It's very bluey. This bluey, this grey. Blue and grey. So there they all are, and they will sit up like this. That is my very simple easel card. Let me find my mouse and come back over to me. Maybe. There we go. Alright, so just go and have a look. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Nicole. Yes, I'm glad you found me here too. So I have put the, there's a link in the video description below with the measurements that and the products that I used. This is really easily adaptable though for everything. Oh, I'm glad you look forward to Wednesday. Wednesday your time, Brenda? Thank you. It must be later in the evening where you are. You like the blue-grey tones, Nicole? Yes, I quite liked this when it all went together, and it was just simply using that paper. Thanks, Sharon Dalton. And yeah, thank you. You're all very, very kind. Thanks, Jackie and Barb. But yes, you can see that I've gone off on a tangent and I've used some different colours in there, but they look a bit different. I'll put them all up. I'll photograph them all and put them all up and point out where the differences are. My blending today wasn't that great. I was in a bit of a rush, but yeah, I don't think you would really even notice now that I've put them on the front of the card. But yes, remember that you could use any paper, not just this one, but this particular card will work with any, it will work with a lot of different stamp sets, it'll work with even different dies, although these ones work really, really well, but even like the arches will work. The circles might not be as tall, you need the taller dies, so the arches would work really well as well. So yeah, certainly early evening, great, that's good timing for you then, Brenda. Yeah, so have a little play. This is a really simple, very common fold, the easel card, and yeah, I hope you have enjoyed today. I'm sorry we've gone a little bit over, but I made 2 cards. And I will see you all next week. Next week I'll be creating for the Colour Inspiration Challenge, which is running now. It started yesterday, but I haven't made a card yet, so I'll do that and we'll create with the colours. We'll be using Very Vanilla, let me see if I can remember, Pool Party, Coastal Cabana and Real Red, I think it was. So that will be an interesting colour combination to play around with. So I hope to see you again same time next week. And in the interim, don't forget free shipping today, tomorrow. The joining special is still running, so if you're going to join, you don't need to use the free shipping special. You can join and get free shipping. But if you have already joined this month and you would like to put another order in, today and tomorrow are the perfect days to do it. So or you get another, yeah, tomorrow for you, Brenda, and the next day. That's right, Colour Inspiration? Great. I haven't even been in to look to see what everyone's done yet, Sharon, but I'll have to go in and have a look. Thank you so much. I will see you